Hello and welcome back to Football Daily, where today we're bringing you 10 clubs who have had horrific seasons. 10. Benevento. Plucky Benevento are an FD favourite, a squad containing the likes of Bakary Sagna and Sandro, both of whom captained the club within their first few games in the team. And they had some ups and a lot of downs in their first ever Serie A campaign. The southern Italian side had the worst start to a season in the history of Europe's top 5 leagues by losing 14 consecutive games, with their first point being picked up against former powerhouse AC Milan. It was done in dramatic circumstances too, with their keeper Alberto Brignoli bagging a 94th minute equaliser. Benevento later went 5 points clear of the lowest Serie A points total in the modern era, which was a lowly 12 set by Brescia in 94-95, and they also effectively made AC Milan their bitch, going unbeaten against the Rossoneri all season, even beating them at the San Siro. But with the club 14 points adrift from safety by April 2018, their season was a certified shipwreck, albeit not a surprising one. 9. Chelsea. The only English side to win the league and then get relegated straight after was Manchester City all the way back in 1938. But Chelsea, for a short while in the 15-16 campaign, looks like they were also flirting with the idea. In the previous term, the Blues went unbeaten until December, but at the same point in the 15-16 season, they were 14th, winning 5, drawing 5 and losing 9. Eden Hazard went 25 games without scoring a goal, and there was suspicion that Diego Costa, Fabregas and the Belgian were trying to force Mourinho out. The Special One's spark had well and truly diminished, and he was replaced by the seemingly always on-hand Gus Hiddink as the Blues finished 10th. This was the club's lowest finish since 1996, and one that tainted Mourinho's legacy at Stamford Bridge forever. 8. Tasmania Berlin. The mid-60s was an odd period in German football. Bayern weren't a top-flight side and had only won a single top-tier title, with the crown being shared by Nuremberg, Dortmund, Werder Bremen and Cologne after the creation of the Bundesliga. But as Der FCB made their first footsteps in the Bulli and finished 3rd, the biggest story of the season was that of Tasmania Berlin, whose first experience of the top flight didn't quite reach the heights of their Bavarian rivals. This was mainly down to the fact that they conceded 70 more goals than Bayern did. The Berlin outfit only netted a paltry 15 in return, finishing on 28 losses, 4 draws and just 2 wins. They finished the season with just 8 points, and by doing so confirmed their place as the worst Bundesliga side of all time. Just 7 years after their embarrassing 1965-66 season, the club was declared bankrupt and ended up ceasing to exist. 7. Barcelona. The 2002-03 season for Barcelona seemed to be a pivotal moment in the Catalan club's history, as the Blaugrana's recent performances were so bad, 2 fourth-place finishes and 6th in this one, that something had to change. It ended up being Joan Gaspar's last year as president and the beginning of Laporta's reign, with the new president bringing in key figures such as Ronaldinho and Frank Rijkaard in order to end their trophy drought, having not won any silverware since 1999. But it was no surprise that Gaspar was forced out. Barca finished in 6th and barely managed to obtain European football, finishing just 1 point above Athletic Club. They managed to lose 12 games, and to put that in perspective, they've currently lost 13 league games in nearly 4 seasons. And their nightmare wasn't constricted to the league either, as they got knocked out in the first round of the Copa del Rey by Novelda, who were in the 3rd tier of Spanish football at the time. Novelda weren't exactly on a cup fairy tale either, getting battered in the round of 32 by Segunda side Terrassa. Big signing Juan Román Riquelme was shipped out on loan after just 1 season, symbolic of the tragic campaign those at the Camp Nou had to witness. 6. Middlesbrough. The beginning of the 1996-97 season was one of promise for Borough fans. The club had finished 12th the previous campaign and added Fabrizio Ravanelli and Emerson to the squad for a combined £11 million. Along with starman Juninho, they had the Teessiders buzzing for the new season. But despite the goal-scoring exploits of Borough, Ravanelli finished with 16 league goals, Juninho with 12. The season ended in failure, with the writing on the wall just before Christmas when they got docked 3 points for postponing a game at short notice. Those 3 points were the difference between the Smoggies staying up and getting relegated, as they would have finished 14th had they not been punished. And to make matters worse, they became the first club to get relegated while appearing in both the FA and League Cup final, and they lost both. 5. Derby County. Roy Carroll in goal, Robbie Savage as captain, Kenny Miller up front. What could possibly go wrong? Well, obviously quite a lot. The infamous Derby side of 2007-8 are firmly in the record books, but for all the wrong reasons. The lowest point total in Prem history with 11, the least amount of wins in a season with 1, and most consecutive games without a win, a staggering 32. Officially relegated by March 2008, the Rams' top scorer Kenny Miller managed just 4 league goals, with the entire team scoring just 20 in total. Ending with a goal difference of -69, Derby's first appearance in the Premier League for 5 years was a catastrophic failure. The gloom of 07-08 still lingers over the club, and Pride Park hasn't seen Premier League football since. 4. Čukarički. Čukarički have enjoyed a taste of Europa League football over the past few seasons. We say taste as they never got past the second qualifying round. But in 2010, life wasn't so sweet for the Serbian club. After avoiding relegation by 3 points the season before, Čuka had mid-table aspirations, but instead ended up suffering the worst season in Serbian football history. The Hillmen managed just 5 points, winning a mighty 0 games, drawing 5 and losing 25, finishing with a goal difference of -55. Čuka ended up 21 points behind their nearest rival, and the rot continued to settle in post-relegation until Dragan Obradović purchased the club and helped the side rise from the ashes. Their average attendance is now around 9k, remarkable considering only 100 turned up to a match in their most dismal season ever. 3. Sunderland. We've covered Sunderland in similar lists before, but in the 2017-18 season they managed to somehow get worse, a feat that we didn't know was even possible. The 6th most successful top-flight club in England, Black Cats fans haven't seen a trophy since 1973, and like are they winning another one anytime soon? Sorry, Dougie. After embarrassing themselves in the Premier League in the 2000s, setting records such as losing 20 games in a row, which actually happened on 2 occasions, they reached new lows in the Championship where they went within 1 day of going an entire year without a home win. With their second successive relegation confirmed, Sunderland were condemned to ply their trade in League One in 2018-19, a major fall from grace. And to sum things up, Lewis Graban, who cut short his own loan to go to Aston Villa in January 2018, was still Sunderland's top goal scorer, 6 ahead of next highest Adi McGeady. Chris Coleman, take a bow. 2. Man United. Despite United winning the title 13 times since the introduction of the Premier League, and Everton hovering dangerously close to the drop for multiple years, the Red Devils have actually been relegated more recently than the Merseyside club. And the occasion couldn't have been any worse. The 73-74 campaign actually started brightly for United, as they won 2 of their first 3 games, but they ended up winning just 4 of the next 20. Club legend George Best was on the brink of leaving Old Trafford, and goalkeeper Alex Stepney was the club's joint top scorer after 22 league matches. Ouch. Whilst one of the Holy Trinity in Best left halfway through the campaign, another Ballon d'Or winner in Denis Law had already left their city rivals, who he had played for a couple of years before he donned the red shirt. The 2 Manchester clubs ended up playing each other at the Theatre of Dreams in the penultimate game of the season, and the unthinkable happened. Denis Law scored the winner for Manchester City, a cheeky backheel of all finishes, and United were resigned to play in the second tier of English football for the first time in nearly 3 decades. Unfortunately for hilarity purposes, Law's finish didn't send United down as they were relegated regardless of the result, but that didn't stop the home fans storming the pitch to try and get the game abandoned. 1. Chernomorets Burgas Sofia. For a country with a lower population than London, Bulgaria has produced some elite footballers. Stoichkov won the Ballon d'Or, Berbatov led United to the 2011 Premier League title, and Stilian Petrov is an icon in modern football. But in 2007, one Bulgarian club put in possibly the worst season we've ever seen. A year prior, Chernomorets were celebrating after getting promoted to the top flight, but the festivities didn't last long as they were docked 3 points before their first game, which was cancelled due to their lack of youth players registered. But Chernomorets weren't content with starting off the season completely rubbish, as they proceeded to lose 29 and draw 1 of their 30 league games. Highlights included 3 10-0 drubbings and scoring just 8 goals throughout the campaign, ending with a goal difference of minus 119. You could not write it. What's more, they didn't even manage to get into a positive points total after their deduction at the start of the campaign, finishing with minus 2. And their owner, Ivo Dražev, was eventually interrogated in connection to 5 murders, as if it couldn't get any more shameful.
Well done! You've finished the video. For some more great content, click right here, you dirty dogs, and as ever, don't forget to like and subscribe. I mean it.